Over 5 years ago, the dream of hosting the Special Olympics in Ireland began. In the summer of 2003, that dream came true, as thousands of athletes from around the world arrived in Ireland for the Special Olympics World Summer Games. The Special Olympics was an event that brought out the best in the people of Ireland. It kindled a spirit of acceptance and togetherness. People of all backgrounds, nationalities and abilities came together to enjoy a spectacular event in a summer that will never be forgotten. The spirit of the Special Olympics movement has a power that cannot be imagined until you have come directly into contact with it. The people of Ireland were asked to take part, and they did. 30,000 people volunteered their time and their talent to make the Games a success. From the build-up beforehand to the spectacular closing ceremony and the airport farewells, the magic of the Games took hold and the people of Ireland were swept off their feet. Here in Ireland, our determination to host the Games has brought rewards that we could never have imagined. In a time when the world can sometimes seem very cynical, the Games enriched us with a reminder of the importance of simplicity and sincerity. It seems to me that all countries, in all stages of development, wherever they are, can be changed in the same general way Ireland has been, from the inside out, one person, one attitude at a time. From a flicker of an idea to a powerful dream, to a glorious reality, the Special Olympics World Summer Games in Ireland was one of our country's greatest achievements.
The vision was to stage a Games that the athletes would be proud to participate in and that Ireland would be proud to host. It's one that we could communicate easily, and we felt, well, if we can fulfil that vision, then the Games will really be successful. And that's what happened. If I heard the word proud once being said in Ireland during that 10 days of the Games, I heard it a million times. And even in a very personal handwritten note that I received the day after the Games finished from President McAleese, she said in it, "We have wrung the word proud dry over the past 10 days in Ireland."
I have 40 years service in the police service of Ireland. I have enjoyed every day of that. But without a doubt, the highlight of my career has been the Special Olympics.
I was never involved or got more pleasure out of anything in my life than I did out of the Special Olympics.
The entire country joined in the celebration, and I think that it represented a cleansing of the soul. It was good for the heart.
From the very beginning, there was something that grasped the nation to do with the Special Olympics, and it was wonderful.
You can analyse it and wonder what was it that made the country come to a standstill during the time of the Games, and it was definitely the presence of the athletes.
There was a great outpouring of love emanating from each and every one of them from the moment that they set foot on the island. And because of this great outpouring, there is no question but that it stirred the emotions of able-bodied people right across this country.
It's the atmosphere and the feeling of positivity that people with the learning disability bring when they enter a room, when they're in your company, when they're in your society, when they're in your home. And I think that's what impacted the people of Ireland.
Their beauty, I think, may well be encapsulated in their simplicity. And the lesson of the Special Olympians is that life isn't quite that complicated, only if you really want it to be.
We had fun together, we walked together, we laughed together, and they showed me that their zest for life is no less than mine.
the athletes have left an indelible mark on the soul of the nation. The Games occurred in Ireland at a time when our economy was booming. It was known as the Celtic Tiger. And to a very large extent, the Games brought people back down to earth. There was a massive outpouring of volunteerism. Ireland had always had a tradition of volunteerism, but some felt that it had died a little because of the economic success. And now we were able to get 30,000 people and ask them to help in this great cause.
It was fantastic that the people of Ireland, through the Host Town programme, had the opportunity to have that closeness and integration with people with a learning disability.
There's 170 towns in Ireland became host towns, and every one of them, the stories going around now, they all have the same stories that we have.
It was probably the first time that many of our police officers worked so closely with the police officers of Northern Ireland and established good, close, friendly relationships with them.
One day there were loads, a few hundred volunteers queuing at the volunteer check-in. These were all people that had finished their shifts but did not want to leave and were queuing up in the hopes that somebody would give them another job to do during the Games.
You, the athletes, are ambassadors of the greatness of humankind. You inspire us to know that all obstacles to human achievement and progress are surmountable.
If I was left with any message from the Special Olympics, it was that if people who have learning disabilities can try so hard to get so far, then I should realise that were I to put in the same effort, the sky would be the limit.
I think they kind of drew us to them because they came with these open arms, and it was like we knew them all along. And it has changed my life in that way now.
Ignorance really was a factor, we'll say, before the Special Olympics. But because of the host programme, an awful lot of people in local communities have been involved directly with kids with disabilities, and it has changed their attitude.
And I thought it was summed up very well by a taxi driver, and he said, "You know the thing about these last 10 days, you never felt alone. That was the great thing about the Games. You really never felt alone during that time." He said, "It's a nice feeling, I hope it lasts."
I think that irrespective of nationality, irrespective of creed, irrespective of colour, that all human beings have the capacity to make a success of the Games for people with learning disabilities.
If we follow the power of love that the Special Olympians show, we will change the world.
A friend of mine, actually, she has a 20-year-old child who's with Down syndrome, and she said 20 years ago, after she had the baby, when she walked downtown, people crossed the road. They were embarrassed, they didn't know what to say. When I went into town, people greeted me, congratulated me. They had read the article that Restart wrote as well, you know, and they were very positive towards. Even now, when I go into town, shopkeepers, you know, friends, acquaintances I meet in town, all want to know how Sophie's doing.
I remember 2 hours after she was born, I had a job of ringing the relations, etc., to convey the good news of the birth of the baby, and I left the one to my mother to the very last, and she said, "You know, Restart, this is a wonderful time for a child like this to be born, because the Special Olympics recently has given people a real appreciation of what these children have to offer. She will be a treasure." Because of the impact of the Special Olympics and people can now be congratulated because this baby is not only a source of affection and love within its family, but has the potential to contribute, sporting and otherwise, to our transformed Ireland.